Handicapper Steve here, handicapping the racing from Churchill Downs here on Friday. It is the 4th of September 2020. It's Kentucky Oaks Day, and we're going to look at the Kentucky Oaks and all the other stakes races on the program from Churchill. But before I get on to that, remember to please follow me on Twitter at HorseRacingKid5 for more selections for race courses around the world. And also join me tomorrow for my Kentucky Derby preview here from Churchill. And also join me tomorrow for my Woodward preview from Saratoga. Kentucky Derby and then saying Woodward preview from Saratoga sounds so weird to say in September, but it's 2020, everything's weird. But we're going to look at the stakes races on the program, races 8 through 13. So let's get to it right now. The 8th race from Churchill. The 8th race from Churchill, it's the 8 Bell Stakes. It's a Grade 2 event going for a purse of $300,000, race for 3-year-old fillies here. We have a field of 7 horses going to the Churchill main track, the distance of ground of 1,400 meters, or the 7-furlong trip on the Churchill main track. 7 furlongs here, and I show the diagram. Just gives me a second to look down my notes. Just bear with me. Sorry, I'm stupid. I can't do two things at the same time. My top selection here, we're going to go with the number 7 horse. The 7 horse who is 4 graces will go 7-5-1-6 in the superfecta. 7-5-1-6 super. Top selection 7 horse, 4 graces. This 3-year-old filly by Majestic Perfection. Ian Wilkes trains. Julian Leperoux gets the mount. The horse's most recent outing came the 10th of July at Keeneland. Like I said earlier, saying Kentucky Derby and Saratoga in the same sentence, it sounds very weird, but also saying Keeneland in July sounds even more weirder. But that came about 7 furlongs in the Grade 3 Beaumont, and the horse went by 4 3/4 lengths there and basically did everything on the front end and more. Set the pace, had a lot left in the tank late, geared down, went by 4 3/4 lengths, 96 Spire. That was a very, very good run against some quality horses, I thought there. 2 back in the dogwood here, Churchill, 7 furlongs, June the 6th. She won by 2 1/4 lengths, and again, she just kept going on the front and quickened up nicely. Very, very easy race. And then on the 16th of May, back here at Churchill, 7 furlongs, opposite 75, she won by 1 3/4 lengths. She changed the tactics that day. She stalked, but when she got the lead, again, she just destroyed the field of horses. A very good run. Back to Churchill, where she's run her best races at Lifetime. She's been training well. 7-5, a very likely winner here. The 5 horse Sconson for Gregory Foley, has been running these decent places as of recently. A close but no cigar kind of horse. It wouldn't surprise me if he gets a good trip and could win. 6-1, we'll definitely use him in the multis. The pick 5 begins with this race, so keep that in mind. But to recap my selection for the 8th from Churchill, it is the Grade 2 8 Bell Stakes. Let's take the 7 horse, 4 graces. Also give a kudos to the 5 horse Sconson. We'll go 7-5-1-6 in the superfecta. 7-5 in the multi-race. To the 9th race. Race number 9 from Churchill, it is the Edgewood Stakes. It's a Grade 2 event going for a purse of $300,000. Race for 3-year-old fillies here. We have a field of 8 horses going to the turf course, a distance of ground of 1,600 meters, or the distance of ground of 1 mile on the Matwin turf course. 1,600 meters, 1 mile here. And my top selection, it's going to be a short price, but I love the 3 horse Sharing. We'll go 3-2-5-8 in the superfecta, 3-2-5-8 super. Top selection 3 horse Sharing. This 3-year-old filly by Spicetown. Grand Motion trains. Manny Franco gets the mount. The horse's most recent outing came 20th of June at Royal Ascot. 1 mile on very soft ground in the Group 1 Coronation Stakes. Finished second by 4.5 lengths. Nobody was going to catch Alpine Star, but this horse, got around the race course well. Ocean Murphy rode a terrific race. To get the place, I thought it was a decent effort second off the break, first start on very soft ground, and without Lasix, nothing bad about that race. Coming back here off the break, back to this turf course. This horse ran very well in the past. I expect her to really go up a lot. 2 back in the 10-pin on this turf course at Churchill, 1 mile, May the 23rd. She won by half length, and again, drawn a little bit wide that day. She stalked, she got the lead, and she got the job done. Probably wasn't 100% fresh, but it was still a very impressive victory off the break. And then before then, the Breeze Cup Juvenile Fillies Turf at Santa Anita, 1 mile, November the 1st. She won by 1 1/4 lengths there, and she was drawn stupid wide, but she got over well, and again, Manny Franco rode a terrific race. Stalked, she got the lead, and then she got the job done, beating a very good group of horses home, earning an 86 Spire, very respectable race there. And then before then, the Sleem at Laurel, 1 mile on the 16th, September the 21st. The horse won by 2 1/4 lengths. Again, drawn a little bit wide that day and was with them early on, but still had a lot left in the tank when she got the victory. I like her a lot. Training well, 6-5, let's use her. The 2 horse Hendy Woods will use on the multi-race. It was won basically very easily last time out. I thought at Indiana Grand, very good ride by Carroll that day. But 2 back in the Regret, this horse was drawn stupid wide with a better poster today. I think he'll get a good trip. Also, Johnny V up doesn't kill. Also, 4-1, we'll use him on the multis. But to recap my selection for the 9th from Churchill, It's the Edgewood Stakes. Let's take the 3-horse sharing. Also give kudos to the 2-horse Hendy Woods. We'll go 3, 2, 5, 8 in the superfecta. It's race number 10 now. The 10th race from Churchill. It is the Alysheba Stakes. Grade 2 event going for a purse $400,000. Race for 4-year-olds and upwards. We have a field of 8 horses entered to go the distance of ground of 1,700 meters, or the distance of ground of a mile 1/16th on the main track. 1,700 meters, a mile 16th here in the Alysheba. And very wide open race. I'm going to take the 5-horse Mr. Freeze. We'll go 5, 6, 3, 2 in the superfecta. 5, 6, 3, 2 super. Top selection of 5-horse Mr. Freeze. This 5-year-old horse by Dahana and Serve. Dale Romans trains. Manny Franco gets the mount. The horse's most recent outing came the 4th of July here in New York at Belmont. 1 mile in the Metropolitan Mile Handicap. And the horse finished 6th by 4.5 lengths there. And basically, talk about a horrible trip. Didn't break that well. Never really could recover. Was stupid wide throughout, and just never had a run, finishing 6 by 4.5 lengths off the bench. It wasn't his day to win. Coming back to Churchill, where this horse has run very well in the past. Hopefully he could break a little bit better. I think he really, bounced back from that race. He's been training very well also since then. 2 back in the Oaklawn Handicap at Oaklawn Park, mile 8th, May the 2nd. The horse finished 3rd by 2 1/4 lengths, and again, he was a little bit wide that day, but he was really closing up well late. I thought he showed promise late. If the race was mile 3/16, he would have probably made it a little bit more interesting, but, he still ran decently there. And then before then, the Gulfstream Park mile at Gulfstream Park, 1 mile, February the 29th. He won by 3 lengths there, and he was on the pace most of the race, and he just kept going. A 107 Buyer, that was one of his best that day, career best, shall we say. And then before then, the Pegasus at Gulfstream, mile 8th. He finished 2nd by 1 3/4 lengths. From the outside gate, he set the pace, kind of got overtaken by Mucho Gusto, but again, he still ran his heart out there. He's run very well here at Churchill. He's 3-2 on this track. His only loss came in the Clark Handicap, where he lost at times to Taunt, where he just couldn't keep the momentum late, but he still ran a terrific race, also a little bit wide, which cost him there. But back to the home track, 6-1, we'll use him. Second likeliest winner is the 6-horse Be My Standards. He's been running an under-the-radar kind of campaign. He's posted triple-digit buyers his last 3. A very good place in the Whitney, a very good place in the Stephen Foster over this track, and a very good win in the Oaklawn Handicap. And also, he won the New Orleans Handicap, or Classic, whatever they call it now, very nicely. Another horse he's been on the up and up, training incredibly well. 7-5, you have to use him here. And I also think the 3-horse Owendale, if there's going to be a pace meltdown, I think he'd get a piece of it. I liked the way he won the Blame Stakes earlier in May. And also, he'll run these crap races, and then he'll run these, great races. Horse, definitely use him in your supers and trifectas. 6-1, I think he could possibly get the job done. Also, we're not using McKenzie on the multi-race ticket. I think he's a very beatable favorite, so we're going to look elsewhere. But to recap my selection for the 10th from Churchill, it is the Grade 2 $400,000 Alysheba. Let's take the 5-horse Mr. Freeze. Also give kudos to the 6-horse Be My Standards and the 3-horse Owendale. We'll go 5, 6, 3, 2 in the superfecta, 5, 6, 3 in the multi-race. Let's get to the 11th race. Race number 11 from Churchill, it is the Trione Stakes. It's a Grade 1 event going for a purse $500,000. Race for fillies and mares, 4-year-olds and upwards. We have a field of 8 horses going the distance of ground is 1,700 meters, or the mile 1/16th trip on the Churchill main track. 1,700 meters, mile 16th here in the Trione. My top selection, we're going to go take the number 8 horse here, Monomoy Girl. We'll go 8-1-6-2 in the superfecta. 8-1-6-2 super. Top selection, 8 horse, Monomoy Girl. 5-year-old mare by Tapizar. Brad Cox trains. Florent Giroux gets the mount. The horse's most recent outing came the 11th of July here in New York at Belmont. 1 mile in the Grade 2 Ruffian. And the horse won by 2 lengths that day. But, it wasn't the easiest victories that day. She stalked, she got the lead, and, she got away. But, Vextitious ran a very sneaky good race. Went on to win the personal ensign at Saratoga next race, beating Midnight Bisou. But this horse, she had a little trouble not trouble, but she was they had a little bit of game plan to try and beat her. They didn't beat her, but she still won nicely, winning by 2, earning a 104 Buyer, which was the best for her career that day. 2 back in Ops Lady here at Churchill, 1 mile May the 16th. First start in nearly a year and a half. She won by 2 3/4 lengths. Wasn't 100% fresh, but she just destroyed the horses, got the lead, a little bit wide, and just took home clear. That was a very good race. And then before then, the Breeze Cup Distaff here at Churchill, mile 8th, November 3rd. She won by 1 length there, and again, she from a stupidly wide post dress, she stalked. stalked, she got the lead, and then she probably could have won around another 10 times and still won that easily. A very good race there. And then the Cotillion, a race, a year and a half, almost 2 years later now, a race, it was the decision right to disqualify her. She won by a neck, but she was a little bit, drifting in the stretch, causing interference with Midnight Bisou. But she, I don't think she should have been taken down because it wasn't so bad, but she still ran a terrific race, I thought, there. And then if you look at her races in 2018, won the Coaching Club, won the Acorn, won the Kentucky Oaks, won the Ashland, won the Rachel Alexander. Her one blemish on her record is not winning the Golden Rod in 2017, where she just got caught at the wire by Road to Victory, went on to win next start out, and that race she was just very rambunctious, not really being herself. But since then she's been training well. Let's use her a 4 to 5. The one horse horologist, I love the way the horse won at Monmouth a few weeks ago in the Molly Pitcher, winning by 2 lengths. She stalked, she got the lead from a stupidly wide post draw. Joe Bravo rode a terrific race, but 2 back in the Santa Maria, this horse ran crap. Was at Santa Anita, didn't finish the race there. It was never herself, and she just, she completely hit the wall. For her to run that race in the Molly Pitcher after that was very impressive. But coming back here, lesser quality horses. Her better races have come on the East Coast. I'm going to give her a shot at 4 to 1 also to upset, but Monomoy Girl is, the best horse definitely on paper. But to recap my selection for the 11th from Churchill, it's the grade 1 La Trione. Let's take the 8-horse Monomoy Girl's top selection. Also give kudos to the 1-horse Horologist. We'll go 8-1-6-2 in the superfecta. Let's get to Friday's feature race, the 12th race from Churchill. Race number 12 from Churchill. It is the Kentucky Oaks. It's a grade 1 event going for a purse of $1.25 million. Race for 3-year-old fillies here. We have a field of 9 horses entered to go the distance of ground of 1,800 meters or the distance of ground of 1 mile and 1/8 on the Churchill main track. 1,800 meters, 1 mile and 1/8 here in the Kentucky Oaks. My top selection here, we're going to try and beat Gamine and Swiss Skydiver. We're going to take the 4-horse Speech. We'll go 4-1-5-3 in the superfecta. 4-1-5-3 super. Top selection of 4-horse Speech. 3-0 filly by Mr. Speaker. Michael McCarthy trains this one. Javier Castellano gets the mount. The horse's most recent outing came the 11th of July at Keeneland, a mile 8th, and mile 16th in the grade 1 Ashland, and she won by 3 lengths that day, and she had a very dream trip. She stalked a little bit wide in the stretchway, but she got the job done when she got the lead, winning by 3 lengths. That was a very good run, a 1-1 buyer. She really jumped up a lot that day against some very tough horses. Coming here from a stalling position, I just don't know if Gamine's going to stay the 2-turn mile and 1/8. She looks like she's going to be a great 1-turn miler, but mile and 1/8 stretching her out, that might be, that's something that scares me a little bit. But Gamine, she is the fastest horse on paper here, but can she hold that speed for a mile and 1/8? I think if the pace melts down with Gamine, I think Speech is going to be right there at the finish and really go away with it. But very good Ashland race. 2 back in the Santa Anita Oaks at Santa Anita, mile 16, June the 6th. She finished second by 4 lengths behind Swiss Skydiver. And again, she's kind of stalked that day. She couldn't get into it late, but she still ran a terrific race. And then at Oakland on mile 16th and Optional 100, she placed behind Gamine that day, but she was awarded first purse money because we all read the papers, but she stalked, just couldn't keep up late, but she did keep up late, and Gamine was kind of hitting the wall, but this horse was nearly getting there. I thought it was a good effort behind a decent horse. And then before that, Santino, mile 16th in the grade 3 Santa Jezebel, she finished second by 4.5 lengths behind Donna Veloce, who hasn't been seen since that race up until today where she's running, and I think she has a very tough task ahead of her. But this horse, she was with them early on, she just couldn't keep up late, but again, she needed the race for experience. Her last race, she's really jumped up a lot, training very well at 5 to 1. I think it's gonna go into her favor. Your second likeliest winner is the 1-horse Swiss Skydiver, 3-0 Fleet by Daredevil. Kenneth McPeak trains. Tyler Gaffleone picks up the mount. Most recently in the Alabama at a mile and a quarter at Saratoga 3 weeks ago. She won by 3.5 lengths, and basically it went all her own way, a little bit wide, but when she got the lead, she just walked home. A very good race. Not very often you see a Kentucky Oaks horse running a mile and a quarter in their previous race. Probably the first time in my lifetime, but she still won very easily. Before that, facing the boys in the Bluegrass, they kind of, they were like, why not? It's 2020, nothing's right, so we'll run her against the boys in the Bluegrass, and she finished second by 3.5 lengths there, and she just couldn't catch our Collector, who went on to win at Ellis very easily next race, but she still ran a terrific race, earning a 98 buyer. And then before then, Santino Oaks, she won by 4 again on the front and all throughout. That was basically a paid workout, very easy race. And then she won the Fantasy very easily at 16 to 1, and then won the Gulfstream Park Oaks very easily at 9.5 to 1. So she's, she earlier this year she was kind of, a bit of a long shot, but her prices have been going down with every single race. She's drawn very well here today. Her most recent race was very easy. At 8 to 5, I think she's, knocking on the door also. But like I said, I think the race is going to fit up towards Speech. So we'll use her as a top selection. But to recap my selections for the 12th race from Churchill, it's the Grade 1 $1.25 million Kentucky Oaks. Let's take the 4-horse Speech as a top selection. Also give kudos to the 1-horse Swiss Skydiver. We'll go 4-1-5-3 in the superfecta, 4-1 in the multi-race. Let's get to the nightcap, the 13th from Churchill. The nightcap, the 13th race from Churchill here on Oaks Day, it is the Twin Spires Turf Sprint. It's a Grade 2 event going for a purse of $250,000, race for 3-year-olds and upwards. We have a field here of 15 horses entered, but only 14 can step on the Matt Winn Turf course, a distance of ground of 1,100 meters, with a distance of ground here of 5.5 furlongs on the Matt Winn Turf course. 1,100 meters, 5.5 furlongs. And by the way, a little somewhat on subject. Churchill, the meeting, this little meeting ends Saturday. On Monday, Kentucky Downs open, so you have some great turf racing around the corner also to add to this spectacular weekend of racing. But back to the regularly scheduled program, my top selection in the turf sprint, I'm going to go with the 5-horse Extravagant Kid. We'll go 5-3-2-10 in the superfecta, 5-3-2-10 super, top selection of 5-horse Extravagant Kid. 7-year-old gelding by Kiss the Kid. Brendan Walsh trains. Tyler Gaffleone gets them out. The horse's most recent outing came the 11th of July, Keeneland, 5.5 furlongs in the Grade 2 Shakertown. Talk about a stupid trip early on. Finishing 5th by 1/4 lengths, by the way. From the rail, the horse did not break that well and was just behind the 8-ball most of the race, but really closed up like an express train late. I would love to see what his final quarter was, because he was really, if the race was 6, he would have probably going to win by 2-3 lengths, but he closed up well late. I thought it was a good 5th place finish, which you don't say very often. With a better trip here today, if he breaks a little bit better, I think, he could really run a good race. 2 back in the allowance race for $68,000 here, Churchill. 5 furlongs, May 29th. First off the break, he won by 1/4 lengths, and again, drawn a little bit wide that day. He stalked, he got the lead, and then he took off clear. A very, very good run. But then he ran a clunker before that at Tampa. 5 furlongs in the turf dash. Race he should have won, but he finished 5th by 8 lengths, and he just never was into it. It was kind of wide, and he just ran very lackadaisical that day. And then before that, they took the horse to the dirt at Gulfstream. 6 furlongs in the Sunshine Million Sprint. Winning by 2 3/4 lengths, not on his preferred surface, but he still got the job done there. But he had a very good, his last year hasn't been half bad. Starting off with the win at Kelowna, where he won by a length at 2 to 1. From the starting position, he ran very nicely. Came back to run an okay 5th in the Keeneland Woodford, and then placed very nicely in the Kennedy Road, and then he won the Llanos at Gulfstream very nicely. Coming here, training well, 7 to 2. Let's use him on the multis. The second likeliest winner is the 3-horse Real News. First time gelding here. He's also going to get blinkers on. He's also drawn stupidly well. His most recent outing, though, in the Shakertown, he ran just nothing. He didn't really run at all. He finished 11th by 4.5 lengths, and he just was not into it. His last 2 races were like that, where he lost Extravagant Kid at Churchill. Before that, another race, he just never got into it. But before that, he won Sam Houston very easily, and he won at the Fairgrounds very easily. He loves the turf sprint, changing it up with the gelding first time at 10 to 1 off the bench. I think he'll really, get a good trip from the inside, so let's use him on the multis. But to recap my selection for the 13th from Churchill, it's the Twin Spires Turf Sprint. Let's take as a top selection the 5-horse Extravagant Kid. Also give kudos to the 3-horse Real News, and also the 2-horse Well Bled. We'll use him on the multis. So 5-3-2 in the multis, 5-3-2-10 in the superfecta. So good luck to all. Remember to join me tomorrow for my Kentucky Derby preview and my Woodward preview from Saratoga. And good luck, everybody. And like I said, join me tomorrow.